So hello everyone, we are continuing in this third consecutive video under the title where we started from. We are just trying to make a basics on concentration terms, and in the initial two small videos we made a very closer and a clear look on molarity, that is represented by capital M, and the second, that is molality, small m. Generally, whenever we discuss molarity and molality, we very quickly come across normality. So over here today our prime discussion will be initially about normality. So normality is generally indicated by n, and the formula that can be utilized to calculate the normality of a solution, that is the concentration of the solution, involves weight of solute divided by equivalent weight of solute. Now this is the change. Whenever we were discussing molarity and molality, we always had in our discussion molecular weight of solute. For the first time we have encountered this word equivalent weight of solute, multiply by 1000 divided by volume of solution. So over here the very first and the basic requirement is to find out equivalent weight. So we will now shift a bit out of the topic of normality and first learn how to determine the equivalent weight. To determine the equivalent weight, we should know what is equivalence, and equivalence is then divided into two: acidity for base and basicity for acids. What I mean by this? See, understand very well. I am just going to take few examples in this and then I am going to move ahead. What are these examples? These examples are HCl, H2SO4, H3PO4. In these three examples, what happens on dissociation? These three are acids: hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid and phosphoric acid. We very well know a variety of definition that comes for acid and bases. So let us just go through those definitions. Those definitions related to acid and bases includes three different types. They are Arrhenius acid and base, Lowry and Bronsted acid and base, and Lewis acid and base. Whenever we say Arrhenius acid and base, it just involves a given procedure of H and OH minus group. If I say that a molecule liberates H plus, I will always correlate it with Arrhenius acid. But at the same time, if I say that it liberates OH minus, I will always say that it is directly correlated with Arrhenius base. But now shifting from Arrhenius acid, Arrhenius base to Lowry acid, Lowry Bronsted acid, Lowry Bronsted base. Here only H plus has its role. Whenever we say that we are donating H plus, it is Lowry Bronsted pardon me, acid, and similarly when I say it is gaining H plus, we will always say Lowry Bronsted base. So Lowry Bronsted acid, it is liberating H plus, and Lowry Bronsted base, it is gaining H plus. Coming to the third part, that is Lewis acid, Lewis base. Always remember, when electron is gained and when electron is lost. When electron is lost, that is liberated, it is Lewis base, and when it is gained, it is Lewis acid. So these are the fundamentals which are sometimes required over here. while calculating the equivalency. For HCl, if we calculate, it is H plus and Cl minus on dissociation. Similarly, for H2SO4, it is 2H plus SO4 2 minus, and similarly for F3O4, it is 3H plus and PO4 3 minus. Now here, the quantity of H plus dissociated is very much important. If we take the first example, that is a simple H plus, then the quantity of H plus dissociated is 1. Over here the quantity of H plus dissociated is 2, and over here the quantity of H plus dissociated is 3. This is now important. Remember very well, when an acid is dissociated into cation and anion, and if only one H plus is liberated, you can consider its equivalence to be 1. If 2H plus are liberated, its equivalence to be 2, and if 3H plus are liberated, its equivalence to be 3. Now, this equivalence for acid can also be termed as basicity. So remember this very well, that if I say HCl, what is its equivalence? Its equivalence will be 1. What is the basicity of the HCl acid? It is again 1. For H2SO4, the equivalence is 2, so the basicity is 2. And for H3PO4, the equivalence is 3, so the basicity is 3. This is how it works. So these were few examples correlated with acid. Now let us take a detailed idea about it. Whenever I say that I am interested in calculating the equivalent weight, the formula is molecular weight divided by basicity, and basicity is used for acid. So over here you have 3 acids, respectively HCl is 36.5, and I will divide it by 1 because the basicity is 1. So my equivalent weight will be 36.5 gram. So over here we can say that molecular weight is equal to equivalent weight for HCl. And always remember, if the equivalence or basicity for an acid is 1, molecular weight is always equal to equivalent weight. Moving a step ahead in the same direction, if I say equivalent weight for H2SO4, then what is the molecular weight of H2SO4? It is 98. So what would I do? 98 divided by the basicity of H2SO4 acid. So it will be again 2. So over here I will end up with 49 gram. So this 49 gram is the equivalent weight, 98 gram is the molecular weight. And coming to the third of its kind question, equivalent weight of H3PO4. So let us first calculate the molecular weight of H3PO4, and once we are done with the molecular weight of H3PO4, then and then only we can move for the equivalent weight of H3PO4. So over here the molecular weight of H3PO4 is 98. I will divide it by 3 because its basicity is 3 based on the liberation of 3H ions, and therefore I will end up with 32.66 grams. So friends, this is how we can come over with the values of equivalent weight, predicting them by getting the basicity values for acids and by knowing the molecular weight values respectively for HCl to be 36.5, 98 and 98. Over here there is a star question, means something that is exceptional, and that is H3BO3. I have seen students committing a huge mistake when the question comes to H3BO3. They write 3H plus BO3 3 minus, and they show its equivalence to be 3, but it is absolutely wrong. Over here the equivalence is 1 because this H3BO3 having a boron in the center does not fulfill its octet, and as the octet of boron is incomplete, if you look over here carefully, it cannot directly show any equivalent value, but to complete its octet it will gain one more OH minus, and when you lose OH minus it is base, so when you will gain OH minus it would be acid, and being an exceptional case, check the quantity of OH minus gained. The quantity of OH minus gained is 1, and therefore in H3BO3 the equivalence will always be 1. Equivalence for an acid is also called basicity, so the value of basicity for H3BO3, popularly known as boric acid, is always 1. So it is hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, phosphoric acid and boric acid. So these are the equivalents. Please keep these things in mind so that you could not get confused while solving the numericals later today. Now we just thought of solving few equivalence values for acid, which we coined it as basicity. Now let us take few examples of base and find out its equivalence known as acidity. Let us take the example of NaOH, CaOH twice and AlOH thrice. Now this is important. Over here if you will check, we will just mention Na plus and OH minus. This is just a simple dissociation. This is just a simple dissociation of a base. Now what happens? Check. Over here it will be Ca2 plus 2OH minus. Over here it would be Al3 plus 3OH minus. Now you can see from the quantity of OH minus liberated, over here the quantity is 1, over here the quantity is 2, and this point the quantity is 3. So as 1 OH is liberated, its equivalence is 1, its equivalence is 2, and its equivalence is 3. Where the equivalence is 3 for a base, it is always coined as its acidity value. So over here the acidity will be 3, over here the acidity will be 2, and for this the acidity will be 1. So remember, the equivalence for an acid was called basicity. Similarly, an equivalence for a base will be called acidity. So these are the values of its acidity. And why are these values essential? Because when I am interested in finding the equivalent weight, its formula is molecular weight divided by acidity for a base. So over here it will be molecular weight 40 divided by 1. So again it's a 40. So remember very well that for NaOH, whenever for any base where your acidity is 1, your equivalence is 1, molecular weight is always going to be equal to equivalent weight. Coming to this second example, where the molecular weight is 74, therefore equivalent weight is equal to molecular weight by acidity. So it will be 74 by 2 and I will end up with 37. It is 74 by 2 and I am ending up with 37. Coming to the third example, over here the molecular weight is 27 plus 51, and if we calculate it will be 78 grams. So this is the molecular weight. So I'll very clearly mention over here molecular weight divided by acidity, and I'll end up with the answer 26 grams. So here the unit remains the same, grams. So this is the difference between molecular weight and equivalent weight, and you are learning normality concept over here. So for you, equivalent weight is going to be one of the most essential topic. Henceforth we just discuss the equivalent weight first, and now we will be discussing the questions that are related directly to normality, so that you can use equivalent weight in place of molecular weight. Remember one thing, although equivalent weight and molecular weight are same for some of the examples, you will never mention them as molecular weight in the numericals of normality. You will always mention them as equivalent weight in the numericals of normality. I am taking the first example over here. Just have a proper look. 24.5 gram of H2SO4 is dissolved in 1000 ml of solution, is dissolved to prepare 1000 ml of solution. So the total quantity becomes 1000. And then there will be the question for you that calculate normality. What would you do? You will have normality, weight of the solute, that is 24.5. Then comes equivalent weight of the solute, and equivalent weight of the solute is equal to molecular weight divided by its equivalence. So over here the molecular weight is 98 for H2SO4. For H2SO4 the basicity is 2, and therefore I will divide it by 2 and I will end up with 49. So over here I have to mention 49. This 49 is nothing but the equivalent weight of a solute. I am writing it again over here. Have a look. Weight of solute divided by equivalent weight of solute. See this carefully. Whenever I say equivalent weight of solute, it is molecular weight divided by basicity for an acid. Over here it was H2SO4, so an acid, therefore the basicity is 2, so it is 49 multiplied by 1000, and at the bottom again 1000 ml. So when I will turn this out, I will end up writing 1 by 2, and that is 0.5 normal. So this is our answer. The normality is 0.5. Friends, what would have happened if I would have asked you to calculate molarity instead of normality? Let us check. Molarity will be equal to weight of solute, that is 24.5 gram, divided by molecular weight. So it will not be 49, it will be 98. So over here I will have 98 multiplied by 1000 divided by 1000, and if you look into this carefully, you would have ended up with 0.25 molar. Now you can see with the similar kind of question, similar quantity of solute, similar quantity of solution, the same acid, although the value of molarity and normality differs. So can we make out some relationship between molarity and normality? Let us check. Let us come to an conclusion. Shall I write like this? Normality is equal to molarity into basicity for acid. Let us check whether this is right or wrong. For this particular question, what is the molarity? 0.25. What is the basicity for H2SO4? Basicity is nothing but the equivalence. So it is 2. So I will just end up with 0.5 normal. Am I right? Yes, I am absolutely right. So now you have a relationship between molarity and normality, and it is something like normality is equal to molarity into equivalence. In the most simple words, normality is equal to molarity into basicity. If you are talking of acids, normality is equal to molarity into acidity for the basis. Whatever be the thing, whatever be the questions, this is how you will always relate and answer them. So a very simple example that includes normality for us. Now let us try and solve a question on the same pattern where you can have both, that is molarity, normality, and even if you get a chance, let us also add molality to it. I am writing a very simple question and we will solve it, and I am just going to discuss two questions, one a base, another an acid. So here I am just depicting out the question. For 49 gram of H3PO4 dissolved in water to make a solution of 500 ml having density 1, calculate molarity, normality and molality. So you are supposed to calculate all the things. let it be molarity, let it be normality, let it be molality. See, this is the main concept when it comes to chemistry. Let us start with a very simple thing, and that is molarity. Molarity is equal to weight of solute. So weight of solute will be 49 gram. Molecular weight of solute and H3PO4, as we all know, is 98 into 1000. Volume of the solution to make a solution of 500 ml. So this is solution. So see what happened. This will get cancelled out, this will get cancelled out, so I will end up with 1. So my solution will be 1 molar. My solution will be 1 molar. Just now we had an equation that if we have molarity and we are trying to encounter normality, what happens? Normality is equal to molarity into basicity for acids. So first of all check, yes, I am having an acid, so I'll have to go for basicity. So over here molarity is 1 multiplied by 3 because of H3PO4, and therefore I'll have my normality equal to 3. Still, if sometimes in this initial stage of learning we find it confusing regarding normality, so what I'll do, normality is equal to weight upon equivalent weight. For equivalent weight of H3PO4 it is 32.66 because you have to divide 98 by 3, multiply by 1000 divided by 500. If you will check carefully over here, I am quite sure that this particular thing will end up with 1.5, that is 3 by 2. You can check it. If it ends up with 3 by 2, I can cut this 2 and I'll end up with normality is equal to 3. So this is normality, molarity and its relationship. Let us go a step ahead and think of molality. See, whenever I am just trying to describe molality, the formula is molality is equal to weight of solute divided by molecular weight into 1000 upon weight of solvent. Now comes the question, you do not have weight of solvent, so you are supposed to find out weight of solvent. So you have the equation weight of solute plus weight of solvent is equal to weight of solution. So over here weight of solute is 49, weight of solvent is to be find out, and you do not have weight of solution but you have volume of solution. So we have to add one more formula, that is density is equal to weight by volume. Weight is equal to density into volume, so 1 into 500, so I'll have again 500 gram. So over here I am getting 500. So when I'll solve this, weight of solvent will be 500 minus 49, that is 451 gram. And now I have to place all these values on this formula. So I'll write it like this, 49 divided by 98 into 1000 divided by 451. So this is very clear, 1 by 2. This is again clear, 500. So it is now 500 divided by 451. It is now 500 divided by 451. So what would be the answer if you divide 500 by 451? Divide 500 by 451. See what answer you get. If you think it technically, I don't think it should be more than 1.12 or something. It has to be somewhat around 1.12 molal. Even though, let us check through the calculators what is the answer when you say that 500 you are dividing by 451. Definitely it is somewhat around 1.10, but I have just mentioned it 1.12. Nevertheless, you are just over here learning the concepts. So this is a total concept for an acid. Whenever you want to find anything, let it be molarity, let it be normality, or let it be molality. Taking the same concept into consideration, let's make a little change, and rather than taking an acid, let us go with a base. Let us see what can be ended up when we take a base, and we are taking a very simple example of aluminum hydroxide. AlOH thrice is added in water to make a solution of 600 gram with density 1. Now what quantity of aluminum hydroxide? So write it over here, be very clear, 78 gram. 78 gram aluminum hydroxide is added in water to make a solution of 600 gram with density 1. Calculate molality, molarity, normality. Let us try and find out initially molality. So over here, molality is equal to weight, that is 78. What is the molecular weight of aluminum hydroxide? Check it. You will again end up with 78. Multiply by 1000. But now be aware, weight of solvent you do not have. This is the weight of solution. This is the weight of solute. So it is very easy for you. Weight of solution minus weight of solute will help you end with weight of solvent. So now you have to just solve 1000 divided by 522. If you will solve this, you will get an answer somewhat around 1.9 or 1.8 or something like this. That is 1000 divided by 522. 1000 divided by 522. So it is somewhat around 1.9. So friends, this is 1.9 molar. Now when going for molarity, weight of solute is 78, molecular weight is 78 into 1000, but now comes volume of solution. Over here you are given weight of solution, but the density is 1, and I have clearly mentioned in the two previous videos that whenever density is 1, weight is always equal to volume. So it is very easy over here, 1000 divided by 600, and the answer for 1000 divided by 600 will be always equal to 1.66 molar. 1.66 recurring molar. You will get a huge line of 66 getting repeated constantly on your calculators. And now when you are going for normality, it is again very easy. You have a molarity and you have multiplied by either equivalence or acidity, because you are talking about the basis. And for AlOH thrice, the basis for the base, the acidity is 3. Therefore I will write 1.66 multiplied by 3, and if I am not at all mistaking, the answer point 1.66 multiplied by 3 will be somewhat around 5 normal. You can please cross verify the answers. If you have any queries in the answers, I am always ready to get back to you through the comment box of the video. But probably the answers goes right until the mathematics is concerned. So there might be the least errors. Nevertheless, errors are possible when you are learning. So this is all about normality, molarity and molality. Friends, this is very important when you are just going through the concepts in chemistry. So be very clear. This was a short video explaining you in detail normality, also explaining you the detailed relationship between normality and molarity, and how could you solve the questions where all the three aspects, that is normality, molarity and molality, come together on your board, and how you can solve. So thank you all for this video. In the next video, I will be just discussing with you percentage W by W, percentage W by V, and a whole mix up of molarity, molality, normality, percentage W by V and percentage W by W. Thank you.